Okay, so tomorrow is the live stream for 2.1, and I'm just going to make some really quick fire spitball predictions and hopes. First off, what do I think is going to drop banner-wise? Well, we already kind of have the idea. We've been shown posts from Genshin's official team on Baal, on Sarah, and on Kokomi. I'm hoping that Baal and Sarah will realistically be put together on the same banner. I don't care which order it happens in, but I want Baal to happen first because it'd be convenient for my polls. But that's just for me. But, at the same time, if they do that, then currently, Baal has not the best reputation in the community. Like, so far, all we know about her on personal account is she murdered Kazuha's friend, and she almost murdered us. So it kind of makes me feel that if they're going to release Baal so soon, they need to release story to justify or at least humanize her motives so the players don't despise her when they're trying to pull for her. And I know that people will pull for her anyway, even if she is a heartless bitch. But if she's not a heartless bitch, and we at least understand why she is doing what she's doing, then at the very least, we've got that in our minds. It's like, yeah, we can like this girl. I like her anyway. You guys have seen my videos if you're here, and if you haven't, then you can check those out. I've conceptualized on her gameplay, I've talked about the lore of items in the game talking about her, and I've made my assumptions on her reasons. So, you know, I'm very avid on liking Baal. But Kokomi is the one that I also find really weird. I have no idea what she's going to be like. At the very least, I can think to myself that Baal is going to be a main DPS and murder the shit out of everything that goes near her. But when it comes to Kokomi, I have no idea. She could be DPS, she could be support, which I hope not, because the supports don't do well in this game. The worst 5-star I think most people agree on is Chi-Chi, which doesn't bode well if they make another character that kind of plays similarly or runs on support instead of, you know, contributing towards your damage. So hopefully they avoid that angle, but who knows? They could actually make a good healer. I doubt it, but they could. And I think if they're going to add more story, then they need to at least add one of the apparently free islands that we have yet to see. And the one that would make the most sense to me is the one that can be seen best from Narukami Island. It is either directly south from the island, if you're stood at the furthest southern point of the island, or it's kind of southeast. And it seems to be covered in a thunderstorm, and I think that'd be a really cool location. That's just me. And I also hope that, considering we're potentially going to get free characters, most characters need their weekly boss materials to upgrade their talents, meaning I think there's going to be a boss. But the boss is either going to be one of two main options, but I do have a third one, and I'll explain why, and because I want it. It's either going to be Baal, a proper fight, but in my eyes, I don't think we could win that. And I think if that fight is going to happen, it'd be in Tenshukaku. Or Sakramush, if I'm not pronouncing his name wrong, as like a Fatui Harbinger who's trying to take her Gnosis. Or Signora. Signora because we know she had involvement in obviously taking Venti's, and she was involved with taking Morax's / Zhongli's. So it makes sense for her to be the one who's supervising taking those things. But at the same time, I think the Sakramush would be a better choice. But I really want to hurt Signora. After what she did to Venti, she was at least civil about what happened with Zhongli, but with Venti, she fucking kicked him while he was down. So, you know, kicking someone while they're down is a scumbag move. As for random hopes that are unrelated to the story, I was disappointed with 2.0 in not giving us furnishing for the teapot. I think they could have added way more, and I want furnishing because that's the thing. I was excited for that. I was excited for gardening, but the gardening mechanic's actually really damn bad. 4 items for 3 days worth of waiting, that's nothing. You can get easily way more than that before it even remotely becomes of value to you. Imagine the amount of days you'd have to wait, because don't you need 160 something of a regional specialty or whatever the item is for a character to max out their ascension and their talents. So, you know, the amount we get for 3 days worth of waiting, is that really going to help much? How many days would we wait in total? Too bloody many. Increase the amount you get or decrease the amount of time it takes to get those items. One of the two. Fix that mechanic. It is terrible. And there's no reason to use it because you can get way more from just roaming maps and maybe asking a favor of friends to go on their maps and get their resources if they don't need them than it is for you to garden in this game. And then there is potentially the annual anniversary of this game, which no idea what they could do. I'm assuming that the profile, like the image for the thumbnail of, you know, the entire stream is a reference to Leeway, but it could not be. I don't know what the hell they could potentially do, but that's just some rough little thoughts. I didn't think too much in depth about this. This is just me rambling before they release that stream, and I record my reaction as I watch it blind. So there's that. I want Baal to be good. You guys know, if you've seen my previous video, which will be in the card for this video, what I hope for out of this girl. I want her to be fun, and even if she's bad, I will fucking get her. But I doubt she will be because she's an Archon. And if they make an Archon bad as a playable character, then there's something probably wrong, because I think that a lot of people will badger MiHoYo into buffing her if she isn't good enough. So there's that. And hopefully you guys are anticipating 2.1's special program. I am. I really am. I want to see some good stuff. I don't know what I'd expect, because there's also going to need to be boss materials to go towards ascensions as well, meaning considering both Baal and Sarah at Electro, there'd need to be at least an Electro boss, and then there'd need to also be a Hydra boss. And the only recyclable, like, existing boss that I can think of that exists is Hypostasis the cubes, and then there's, of course, the flowers. But I don't think either would be... Well, I think the cube could maybe work, but it'd be really unoriginal. The flower could also work, to be fair, but it'd also be unoriginal, and I don't know if it'd suit the island that is, like, covered in a perpetual thunderstorm. The thing I fear is the idea of, if it's not going to be a completely unique design boss, like, for example, the Geovishap, that thing's good design. If it's not like that, then the only other thing that I could think of that would make even an ounce of sense would be the Lockfolk, but at the same time, that already exists. But then I also shat myself at the idea of considering stormy weather and the fact that Baal affects the entire environment around Inazuma. Imagine a fucking thunder version of that thing. I would actually hate my existence, because I hate the original boss. Even with Ganyu, it's really annoying. Because the moment that they get free, depending on the bloody mimic you're fighting, they're a real pain in the ass. I don't enjoy the boss fight. I think it's one of the worst fights in the entire game, and not because it's difficult, just because it's really, really tedious when you're trying to sort it, because my Ganyu's buff. But that's just me. So that's the, like, food for thought. Random things I thought of as in, like, an ascension material for Baal if they do a regional special. I really want them to make the flower that's in her hair as a gatherable item, because the flowers bloom in a thunderstorm, so to me, if they release it as something that exists on that island, then we could pick those flowers and just be like, here you go, Baal, have a bunch of flowers that you clearly like, considering you've got it imprinted in your bloody front door to your house, you've got them in your hair. Enjoy the flowers. No idea what Kokomi or Sarah could use. No idea at all. Oh well. And I'm not even gonna guess mob stuff. Though, talent material for Baal, I did actually consider mentally on being the Wands of Light, because it'd make the most sense. There's the image of a Torii Gate, which symbolizes something sacred. It mentions divinity, and it mentions, it alludes to Baal. in the descriptions of one of them. And then there's just the whole concept behind her being this god, and in her little pocket dimension we fought her in, there was a bunch of Torrigates. For me, I intend to roll on Baal's banner in a stream. So that is something I have saved for. I've saved around about 27k Primo Gems, and I've got around about 30 something intertwined fates. And then of course, while you roll, there's of course going to be the Stardust and Star Glitter gathering, so I'll be able to get the 5 extra fates from doing from the Star Glitter, and then I'll also be able to, well, from the Stardust, and then I'll just be able to throw all the Star Glitter at getting intertwined fates as well. For me, I'm guaranteed on the first pity to get Baal. So for me, the debate is, if her constellations are good, I would keep rolling. I'm willing to spend all my savings in game on getting a good Baal. If her constellations aren't worth it, if there's a good weapon released with her, I would look at it and I would debate. Because the weapon banner to me is for whales, and I personally think that they should reduce it so if you fail the 50-50 on the weapon, you definitely get it next time. Because for now, that mechanic is only useful to whales or people who excessively save like I did, but I've still got to get to Baal's pity in the first place, so I don't even know if I'd have enough to guarantee the weapon. But that's another complaint. So, hopefully you had fun with this little prediction and conversation about what's upcoming tomorrow, and hopefully we get some bloody good news, because Inazuma has been amazing so far. I have a lot of faith in what the team's doing. Please don't make Baal bad, or please don't make it so players complain about her, because while I don't care how well she performs in meta, I know a lot of people will complain like hell if she doesn't perform well in meta, and I can't be bothered because I'm sick of hearing it, because people have already complained to hell about Yoimiya. I skipped Yoimiya, and I skipped Kazuha for Baal. I wish I didn't skip Kazuha, but I had no choice. I made my priority towards Baal, but I will get Kazuha eventually on rerun. I aim to save very long term. Unless they release a good Dendro character, there's no reason for me to pull on 5 stars unless it's weapons. So, I'm good for now, aside from getting my Baal. Which, hopefully, I'll see you guys there for, because that'll probably be either the first stream I do of Inazuma, if it's the first banner they drop, or it will be, like, after I play through whatever content they maybe release for Inazuma's 2.1. Hopefully they release content and it's not just an event, but that could be me being hopeful. There's a chance that all of this could end up maybe being dropped in 2.2, and then I'd feel incredibly stupid. So, until then, take care everyone.